What if you could cheat in Arc Raiders without ever getting banned? That's the goal. So in this video, I boiled down my 2 years of closet cheating experience into a 3-pillar formula. By the way, we're going much deeper than just don't beam players across the map. We're going over the secrets to cheating in Arc Raiders so you can play completely undetected. Cheating in Arc Raiders can instantly give you perfect aim and godlike awareness, but it can also leave you with the dreaded message, you've been permanently banned. Running around only hitting headshots is a fast track to getting banned. To fix this, we're going to need to make you what's called a legit config. All this means is that we're going to configure our cheat so that we look just like a normal player. It's recommended to stick to only the 2 following features. Starting with aimbot, we need to make sure we have high smoothing and visual check enabled. If you don't know what these are, don't worry as I'm going to explain. Smoothing is a feature on this cheat that gives it a natural look. For example, when we lower the smoothing to 0, the aimbot snaps onto targets, which makes your aimbot obvious. However, when we set to 50% or higher, the aimbot will look natural and people will assume you simply have good aim. But here's a pro tip that most people don't talk about. If you're in close quarters combat, you can turn down the smoothing to a lower value. However, if you're shooting people at a distance, you'll want to increase the smoothing a bit. Think of smoothing as how human do you want your aimbot to look. Next, we have the visual check feature, and when it's enabled, your aimbot will not target enemies if they're behind a wall. This is a unique feature that is super useful to prevent pre-firing people. This is non-negotiable. Pre-firing a corner is one thing, pre-firing a corner and perfectly tracking a guy through the wall as you turn is a guaranteed report. Visual check stops your aimbot from even considering to target an enemy it can't see. The next feature we're going to use is ESP. On this cheat, for example, we have a bunch of ESP options like box, skeleton, head, health, name, and distance ESP. This is highly customizable and is mostly just preference. Now let's talk about how to use ESP without looking like you have it. The biggest mistake is tracking players through walls. You know he's about to come through that door, but you can't stare at that door waiting for him. A legitimate player would be checking other angles, reloading, or looking at his map. You need to use your peripheral awareness to not make it obvious. For legit cheating, I recommend sticking to only aimbot and DSP so you can play Arc Raiders without being blatant. However, the next step is also super important. If you're playing on a level 1 account with no history, you're raising 2 red flags. First, when people see you at the top of the leaderboard with insane stats, they're gonna report you. The second red flag is that the anti-cheat will also raise suspicion. When a brand new player starts dropping a 10 KD, the anti-cheat will mark you as suspicious and will watch you far more closely. To fix this, try to level up your account before cheating. Something like 30 plus hours in the game will do. But what does that history actually do? It builds a player profile. Think of it like this. If a seasoned player starts improving their accuracy by 50%, it's plausible. They might have gotten a new mouse, practiced their aim, or just finally learned the recoil patterns. If a brand new player has pro level stats from day 1, both automated systems and human reviewers might notice. So play those 30 hours legitimately, unlock some guns, get a positive KD, and most importantly, build a playstyle. Then, when you enable the cheats, your improvement curve will look natural. However, if you are in a brand new account, it isn't a deal breaker, you'll just have to follow the next pillar even closer. Using the right cheat is key, and more specifically, using a cheat that is designed to not be obvious. Even if you followed the previous pillars perfectly, if your cheat is junk, you'll get banned anyways. Do your research. Most paid cheats are either overhyped, detected, or just not built for staying under the radar. At Arctic Cheats, we have a few Arc Raiders cheats available, but I'd recommend Armani as it's the most user-friendly for beginners, and it comes with all the advanced features we discussed, like customizable smoothing, visual check, ESP, and much more. In the description below, you can purchase Armani, and you can also use code YT for 10% off your order. Anyways, hit that like and subscribe button if you found this video useful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.